Diane in Denmark here, and rah rah rah, it is Wednesday. It's also the 1st of August, start of a new month, and the start of a new month in Flylady land means the start of a new habit, you know, practicing a new habit. And this month it is, drum roll please, it's the LOL, you know, a load of laundry. Doing a load of laundry per day, or maybe you need to do 2 if you've got a big family. So before I get into today's video, I'm going to be talking about dressing your truth, because I know a lot of you wanted an update, and so much has happened since the last time I talked about it. But anyway, if you haven't put on your laundry, or if you need to reboot your laundry, go and do that and then come back. Just hit the pause button and I'll be here waiting for you. And you're going to see a lot of laundry memes on Instagram this month, so because we all love to do our LOL, our load of laundry. Anyway, let me put my pom-poms down. Normally I make my videos after I've done my morning routine. I don't know if you can hear it at the moment, but I was just about to go out the door with my, my swimming bag. I was going down for my skinny dip, and the heavens opened, and the Danish rain gods have blessed us with heavy rain, but there's been thunder and lightning, and I don't swim, I swim if there's a bit of rain, but not when there's thunder and lightning, so I'm hoping that will go off, and the skies are beginning to clear now, and hopefully I can get my swim afterwards. But so I'm doing things in reverse today, and I'm making my video first. Anyway, I got my coffee, had my breakfast at home instead of having it down at the sea. It's still really humid. Anyway, let's get on with a wee update. The last time I spoke to you, it was before I stopped making videos, we went off on family vacation. And I've mentioned a couple of times about this Dressing Your Truth program. Now, this all started because a couple of you mentioned it to me and said, I'd heard of Dressing Your Truth, and on Instagram, I follow you and see what you're all up to, and I noticed quite a few of you were following Carol Tuttle on Instagram, and I thought, I need to have a wee look. And I've mentioned all about that. I kind of took a wee look, and you know me, I'm a canny Scot, so I'm not going to kind of put money into anything. I said to you lot, don't go spending money, and don't. Anyway, fast forward to my birthday in end of June, and I woke up, and I've been talking about this, and there's a free online course, and I know a lot of you can get it, this book, there's a Kindle version apparently which is free. Anyway, I got mine cheap on Amazon, and I woke up on my birthday and I thought, I'm post-menopausal. I went through the menopause the last couple of years, and big changes going on, and I thought, you know what, as an investment in myself, I'm going to order the style cards and the lifestyle membership of this Dressing Your Truth system. And it was quite fun, because I've been saying to you, because I know a lot of you were really interested, and I get into the lifestyle group on Facebook, and a lot of you are already in there, and I was saying, don't sign up for anything, you got there before me. Anyway, and the reason I invested in it was because, you know me, I don't like to spend money, and I get most of my clothes from clothes swap parties. You've seen all the videos about the clothes swap parties, but I've told you that the last few months, like in the living room, I've just been feeling like I really need to make that final shift, that final change. I don't have much clutter in the house. The main clutter that I have still left are the clothes. I mean, you've seen my wardrobe, and you've seen, we have 4 normally very distinct seasons in Denmark. But I needed a kind of final push, or kind of put this way, like an authority to help me to go through the final things. Why I've been holding on to some things, even if I haven't worn them for a long time, I've still been hanging on to them, thinking. So I thought, okay, I'll invest in the system. So I invested in the system, and as I said to you, I figured, when you go through the course and whatever, I was kind of doing this dance between 1-4 and 4-1, and I settled on the 4-1. Now, 4-1 energies, if you haven't read up about it, this is going to make no sense whatsoever. But generally speaking, a 4 is a kind of very orderly, routines person, very organised and straight up and down. And the 1 is like the opposite end of the scale, all kind of arms up in the air, pom-poms. And I figured myself as a 4-1, and what I had done was I'd done the course, I'd read the book, and I'd settled on the 4 as being like my main type. And I was in the, so I started off and I thought, okay, right, I'm going to dress, I wasn't quite sure about things, but I thought, right, I'm going to dress as a 4-1 for the 30 days and let's see how it goes. So I started, you know, posting pictures of my outfits, and you may have seen on Instagram, instead of me posting, you know, all the silver jewellery, I thought, okay, oh no, sorry, I'm talking about the, and I was posting, you know, my usual outfits of what I thought was 4-1, you know, all my usual things, silver jewellery and, you know, the bold colours. And I was going a bit more bold with the lipstick and stuff. And I was in the Facebook lifestyle group, and Carol Tuttle herself, she's very active in there. And you can't ask to be profiled, you know, if you're uncertain of your type. But occasionally she will jump in with what is called a clue bomb. Now, a clue bomb is where she doesn't say, oh, you've got it all wrong, you're actually this. But she said to me, you know, I was quite happily posting my pictures, and she said, oh, would you like some guidance? And actually I thought, I'm not sure if I want the guidance, because that always sounds kind of ominous. Anyway, she said to me, you know, look at the comments that people are saying to you on your pictures. And the comments on my pictures were that, you know, I was kind of cute or fresh, and that was a sign to me that my personality trumps, well, not my personality, my energy trumps my kind of personality that that's changed over the years. Now, I'll get into that in a wee minute. And she said to me, all the outfits that I've been posting, which I thought were, you know, according to my head, a 4-1, were actually a 1-4, and maybe it was the other way around. And I mean, when she said that to me, I was like, oh, I felt like a kind of bomb had exploded, because I felt like, no, I want to be a 4-1 and have my silver jewellery, and you know, I wanted to be a striking woman, you know, I want to look like Debbie Harry from Blondie, and anyway. And it's funny, the thing is, you know, I went to bed that night because it was, you know, late our time when she mentioned it, and I tossed and turned all night. But I thought, you know what, she's the expert, and I'm going to take on board what she said. I wouldn't listen to anybody else, but this is what she said. And during the course of the night, it fell into place for me. And the next morning I was down from a skinny dip with Vibeke, and whoa, you know, we had a huge chat about it, and everything kind of, it just fell into place. So I don't want to go too much into my personal life, but about, oh gosh, several years ago we had serious illness in the family, and I think I can probably pinpoint it to then, when my secondary energy, the 4, the one that was craving the routines, that started taking over the type 1 energy. Because if I look back to earlier, you know, at school and in my first jobs, you know, I was always the one who was making all the creative things and all the fun at school, and I was the social secretary at the office and organising all the parties at you know, kindergarten and school. It was, and you know, I was doing all of that. But I can see that when there was serious illness, I kind of went into defence mode, if that makes sense. And the only thing that I could control, like I felt like my whole world was crashing down, the only thing that I could control was myself. And I think that's where the type 4 energy came in and took over the type 1, because the type 4 energy can dominate, you know, the other energies. And I've mentioned to this, you know, when my dad died a couple of years ago, you know, I've mentioned it before with the Flylady routines, with all the routines that we have. I find those very comforting in times of stress, or, you know, just even when, you know, when we're coming up for Christmas, or when there's a lot going on. I cling to my routines because my routines are the things that I can control. When the world is spinning out of control, the outside world, I grab onto my routines, and I can see that that is where my secondary energy, the 4, has crept in and has kind of, you know, swamped the 1. It hasn't squashed it completely. Anyway, so it all kind of made sense. It was like, wow, it was like kind of waking up. You know, I don't want to say like a born again Christian type of thing, but, you know, and I felt like a kind of weight had been lifted from my shoulders that, you know what, I don't actually need, you know, the illness thing is gone now, so I don't need that secondary 4 energy, you know, dominating things. I can lighten up again. I can go with the flow. Okay, I'm not going to be that flowy. I'm not that type of bohemian type, but it's really given me a new perspective on things. Anyway, so after that happened, you know, my first thing was shock, and then I was like, oh my goodness, and then I thought, oh no, but type 1s should be wearing gold and not silver. And I was thinking, no, I don't want to let go of all my lovely silver things. You know, I talked about before, I love silver. And what about all the black things that I have in my wardrobe? And so that was my next thing. Hold on, I just need to refer to my notes because there were so many things I wanted to mention. And then I was thinking, what am I going to wear? Because suddenly I felt like, oh, I don't know what to wear, and you know, will I be getting it right? And I thought, you know what, don't panic. And the lifestyle Facebook group, I'm in 2 groups. If you have like the lifestyle card, the guides, you are in the group of your type. So I switched from the 4 to the 1. And I'm also in the lifestyle group, which is the main Facebook group where Carol is there a lot, and it's very, very supportive because, you know, I've learned a lot of things. Like, I don't need to throw everything out overnight. Also, I don't need to worry about things having to be absolutely perfect. You know, I was thinking, oh, but I have to make sure my outfit is completely going with type 1, or so. There's been a lot going on in my head recently, but I'm just feeling really good right now because you're going to be seeing a lot of decluttering videos of accessories and shoes and scarves and clothes. But I've also discovered that there were some really good videos in the lifestyle thing about refashioning stuff. And you will have seen recently, if you follow me on Instagram, you see me posting my outfit for the day. And remember my silver sandals that I know a lot of you loved. With some leather paint, they are now gold. So, and it was funny with the gold thing, I was kind of determined not to like the gold. But one of the first things I did, like 2 days later, I bought this really cheap gold cuff bracelet when we were over in Sweden. And you know what, and these earrings with wee pom-poms on them. And actually, I'm really enjoying the gold. So, and if you saw my other video the other day, now I've started spray painting old jewellery that I wasn't wearing. And I've painted a handbag. I found some more paint downstairs that we had used for painting stuff in my daughter's room. So, and the teal turquoise colour is really good. I really like that. So that's one of the projects today. I'm going to be spray painting this one. So I don't need to go buying lots of new stuff. I'm looking forward to the next clothes swap party because I'm going to take along a lot of the black items which I've already decluttered, and things which I've had in my wardrobe for a long time that I haven't worn, and those were the easiest to start with. And I'm not going for the kind of colours that were maybe 1 or 4, kind of borderline. I'm just going for the things that I know are definitely not my type and that I've had hanging around for a long time. So it's been really good just to let go of all those things, you know. And oh, I'm feeling so much better about it. Now, the other thing was, oh yeah, I've also found a lot of stuff over in the summer house in Sweden. Clothes which I wore maybe about 10 years ago, which were like the type 1 style, which I'd kind of left over there, and I've now brought them back here again, and other things that had been stuffed at the bottom of the wardrobe. So I did have, and I was on the right track, but I kind of veered off with the colour-wise and moved into type 4 territory, so now I'm kind of moving back again. So anyway, it's all great fun. And the other, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, and the funny thing is, with, since Carol also gave me some ideas for, you know, if I wanted to change the hairstyle and move away from what I had before, and it was just a more fluffy bob thing. Anyway, and I was going to the hairdresser just 2 days after, you know, the bomb dropped, and my hairdresser, she was so glad that I had decided to change style, because, you know, I'd been quite insistent on, I always wanted the same thing. So anyway, she's cut it into layers for me, and I can style it. I can go that way, or I can go the other way, and then maybe at Christmas it might be a bit longer, or it might be a bit shorter. Anyway, I'm still working out how to style it, but I've had so many compliments on the hair, and also people that I meet down at the bathing club when I'm completely naked, so they only see kind of this part of me. And also, somebody on Instagram yesterday, it gave me such a laugh. She said, what was it? It was the American way of saying, have you had plastic surgery done? Because I looked so much younger. What did she say? Have I had something cosmetic done? No plastic surgery. I've just changed my hairstyle. I've gone with some pom-poms on the earrings, and I'm trying to go with the colours that that make me look my best and feel my best. So anyway, that gave me a real laugh. So I'm hoping I'm not sounding like an advert for Dressing Your Truth. You know me, please don't go buying anything just because I say it, but I've really felt a big change these past couple of weeks, and I know now that I'm not on the right track. I'm back on the right track. So anyway, there'll be lots of videos coming where you'll see me spray painting stuff and decluttering, and a lot of you asked about these cards. You know, what was it a good investment? Don't go buying them just because I've got them. I really, Vivek and I have had so much fun with these cards. I take them every time we meet each other. I've got the cards in my bag, and we're, you know, discussing the colour of everything that we can see. You get these cards that tell you, you know, about your type and the kind of movement and the fabric and all that. And I'm finding them really useful for when I'm going through my wardrobe. And it's also reinforcing the idea of what does work for me, and, you know, the items that I do like, that is because of that. And also when I'm on the borderline about things, you know, I've got a lot of type 1 colours and type 4 colours. I don't have any of the 2s and the 3s, because, as I've always said, I don't like kind of muddy things, or the dirty colours, or the wishy-washy colours. That's not me. I'm attracted to those two. But these ones have got little patterns on the back, and when I'm not sure about something, I can see, oh yeah, that goes really well, and it's more of a 1 than a 4, or 4 than 1. So I found them great. But I've also got little tiny ones that come in the pack that are credit card size, and they stay in my handbag. And the other day, when I was over in Sweden in one of the charity shops, I even had the cards out, kind of checking up against the clothes. So anyway, and I don't want to go on and on and on, because there's going to be a lot coming, and a lot more stuff about Dressing Your Truth. But anyway, thanks to Carol for coming up with this system. It's been so much fun. It's a bit like finding, you know, when I found Flylady all those years ago. As I say, I'm in this postmenopausal time, and we've no longer got serious illness in the family. finally, so I really feel like I'm ready to move forward. And one of the other things is, just if you've had difficulty going with your type, don't go too much into, I had settled on the 4 because of what it said about personality-wise about the 4. It's very much about how your face looks, and it should have been clear to me with my wee button nose and the circles and da-da-da. But it's also the energy that you've got, you know, and I'm the type that, you know, you've seen me sitting here and I can't kind of sit still. That should have been a big clue to me, but because the thing of moving into different personalities, like, you know, focusing very much on the routines and how you feel there, that's something that you learn, or it comes due to circumstances or how you're brought up. So it's mainly the energy that you have and the facial profiling, that's the thing. And when I went back and read about type 1, one of the first things is about being a cheerleader type. Now, if that wasn't as plain as the little button nose on my face, I don't know whether it should have been a clue to me, but it wasn't. My dominant quality is cheerfully lifting us up to feel more fun and hope. Well, anyway, I hope that's what I'm doing with my channel. I've got cheerleader, I've even got the pom-poms to prove it. I know, I've got the little pom-pom earrings, so there you go. Anyway, I'm going to hopefully get down and have my swim, have a fantastic day, and maybe it's time to go and reboot that laundry, because it is LOL, month of doing LOL, and yeah, have a great anti-procrastination day, and see you very soon. Okay, live long and prosper, may the Danish Hug be with you. Bye for now.